the Los Angeles basketball scene just got a serious shakeup. And no, we're not talking about mid-tier free agents or quiet veteran pickups. We're talking real movement. Big-name players switching sides in the City of Angels, shifting the balance of power in ways that could define the next 2 NBA seasons. Let's start with the Clippers. Bradley Beal is in. Chris Paul might be next, and James Harden is already there. That's 3 all-star level guards on one roster. But instead of fans celebrating a guaranteed contender, there's hesitation, concern, even confusion. Why? Because it's 2025. Not 2015 Bradley Beal, while still a deadly scorer. Isn't the same guy who averaged 30+ in back-to-back seasons. Chris Paul. He played all 82 games last season, sure. But at 39, how much longer can he keep this up? And James Harden. We've seen flashes of brilliance, but also stretches of inconsistency and disappearing acts in big games. That's not Kit's the reality now. Clippers GM Lawrence Frank recently said the team is strongly considering signing Chris Paul. Let's be honest, when an executive says that publicly, the deal is basically done. NBA front offices don't speak like that unless it's close, very close. So what does that mean for the Clippers backcourt? You've got Harden and Paul, 2 elite facilitators. You've got Bell, a bucket getter who can also handle and create. In theory, that's 48 full minutes of high-level guard play. But it comes with questions. Serious questions. Who's playing defense? None of those 3, Harden, Bell, or Paul, are known for their defensive prowess at this stage of their careers. That puts enormous pressure on a guy like Chris Dunn, who's expected to handle the tougher backcourt assignments every single night. And if he's not consistent, the team's perimeter defense could collapse. But again, it's not just about defense, it's about durability. This Clippers roster isn't built for 82 games. It's built for 16 wins in June. That's why they're loading up now, chasing immediate success with zero concern for the long term. Consequences. Their entire blueprint is built around a short 2-year window. 2 years. That's it. By 2027, the Clippers plan to pivot, rebuild, and reset. Every major contract, Kawhi Leonard, James Harden. Even potential additions like Paul's designed to expire or be off the books by then. That's the plan. The Clippers know this era has an expiration date, and they're sprinting toward it. So bringing in Chris Paul, even at his age, makes sense in that context. You're not asking him to carry the load for 82 games. You're asking him to lead. For 12 to 15 minutes a night, run the offense when Harden sits, and bring that floor general IQ to the postseason. That's it. No heavy lifting, just surgical execution. But even with all this strategy, the risks are massive. Because while the ceiling is championship level, the floor is just as low. One injury to Harden or Kawhi, or below Paul, and the entire structure collapses. We've seen this story before. It's too many times, and across town, the Lakers are making moves of their own. They just added Marcus Smart, and that changes everything. Smart brings what the Clippers don't have: defense, toughness, vocal leadership. He's not a perfect player. He has injury concerns too. But unlike Bell or Harden, Smart's value isn't tied solely to stats. His impact is emotional, psychological. He changes how a team carries itself. And that's the kind of presence the Lakers have been missing. So now we have 2 teams in the same city, making radically different moves. The Clippers are stacking talent, hoping it clicks in time. The Lakers are adding identity, grit, and two-way intensity. One team is gambling on star power. The other is betting on structure. It raises a fascinating question. If the Clippers could rewind time, if they had full knowledge of who would become available, would they still choose Bradley Beal over Marcus Smart? Because Bell is the more Talented offensive player, no doubt. But Marcus Smart might be the better fit, especially for a team already packed with scoring but light on defensive grit and vocal leadership. It's a real debate. What Bell brings is undeniable: shot creation, offensive versatility, playoff experience. But what Smart offers might be even more valuable for a team trying to survive a brutal PL, especially when the margins between a playoff win and a collapse can come down to one possession, one stop, one steal. And that's where Smart thrives. Meanwhile, back with the Clippers, there's also the hidden storyline, the subtle team chemistry shift. James Harden reportedly took a pay cut to help bring in Bell and Brook Lopez. That kind of sacrifice shows intent. It shows that Harden, for all the criticism he's taken over the years, understands the window. He's playing for legacy now, not just a paycheck. That self-awareness, combined with Paul's leadership and Bell's scoring, could be dangerous if it all works. But again, if is doing a lot of heavy lifting in that sentence, because nothing about this Clippers team screams safe bet. Not the health, not the fit, not the egos. It's high risk, high reward, and high pressure. And if you're wondering how the Lakers feel about all this, they're not worried, because while the Clippers have made headlines, it's still the purple and gold who run LA. The Lakers have the rings, the global fan base, the legacy, the iconography. And now, they've added Marcus Smart to a core that already includes Anthony Davis and, at least for now, LeBron James. Smart might not have Bell's offensive numbers, but he brings something just as important: stability. And in a season where chaos seems guaranteed, that might end up being the smarter move. So here's the bottom line. The Clippers are going Ellen. Again, they've loaded up on names, veterans, and pure basketball IQ. But they've also leaned hard into volatility. The Lakers, meanwhile, are choosing balance, heart, edge. Both teams are chasing the same goal: a championship in the next 2 years. Only one of them is going to get there. And when it all goes down, don't be surprised if the answer to who really won this summer isn't found in the names on the roster, but in how those pieces fit together under pressure when the lights are brightest. This is LA basketball, and the war for the city has only just begun. LA is moving hard, and this isn't just some quiet July cleanup. The Los Angeles teams are making real, calculated, strategic moves. The Clippers just landed Bradley Beal. Marcus Smart is heading to the Lakers, and Chris Paul, he's hovering right on the edge of joining the Clippers too. These aren't just random off-season signings. This is chess being played across the city, and when we break down who's winning this game, it gets complicated. Let's start with the Clippers. They lost Norman Powell, but they didn't just replace him, they upgraded. Bradley Beal may not have had the spotlight on him last year in Phoenix, but quietly, he was productive. His usage was down, his touches were limited, but when he had the ball, he made things happen. Bell's scoring package is polished. And now, paired with James Harden, who has a proven track record of elevating scorers next to him, Bell could see a legitimate bounce-back season. Remember what Harden did with Embiid? That two-man game was lethal. He's not just a scorer. Harden's a floor general when he wants to be. He creates space, draws doubles, and makes his teammates look good. Powell had a resurgent year in LA, largely because of Harden's presence. And now Bell, a better version of Powell, steps into that role. It's almost like the Clippers got Bell to replace Powell and also added John Collins for free. That's how efficient and quietly aggressive they've been. No major headlines, it's just smart basketball maneuvering. And now, there's Chris Paul. He's not signed yet, but when Clippers GM Lawrence Frank publicly says they're strongly considering signing a player, that's not just a vague possibility. That's as close to a confirmation as you'll ever hear in NBA front office language. And adding Paul would turn this guard rotation into a three-headed veteran dragon: Harden, Bell, and CP3. That's firepower. That's experience. That's leadership. But it's also gamble. There's a clear concern about age, defense, and durability. These aren't 25-year-olds. In their prime, they're aging stars. And with age comes injury risk. Chris Paul may have played all 82 last season, but can you really expect that again? Maybe not. But here's the catch. The Clippers don't need him to. They're not asking Chris Paul to play 35 minutes a night. They're asking him to be a high-Q floor general for 12 to 15 minutes when Harden sits. They're asking him to control tempo, lead the second unit, and show up when it matters. As a regular season innings eater and situational playoff weapon, CP3 still has value. And considering the Clippers' 2-year title window, this is a move you absolutely make. But what about defense? Harden, Bell, and Paul aren't locking anybody up. That's a valid concern, but the Clippers have built in some protection. Chris Dunn, Derrick Jones Jr., rim protectors like Brook Lopez, if signed, there's defensive infrastructure already there. And Kawhi Leonard, when healthy, is still one of the best two-way players in the league. Don't forget, the Clippers were a top-tier defensive team last season, with many of the same flaws they're carrying now. Their plan: funnel guards into help, chase over the top, let the bigs handle things at the rim. It's not lockdown perimeter defense, but it's organized, it's functional. And in the regular season, it'll work. Now come playoff time, that's where things get tricky. Rotations shrink. Matchups get hunted. You can't hide players. And questions will arise. Is Chris Paul still in your playoff rotation? Do Bell and Harden hold up under pressure? That's when we'll see if this experiment pays off. But overall, the Clippers have built something formidable. And yet, the Lakers might. They've just made the perfect countermove. Marcus Smart is heading to the Lakers, and that's huge. No, he's not the scorer Bradley Beal is. He doesn't have the all-star tag or highlight reel offensive games. But what he brings is something this Lakers roster has needed desperately: grit, leadership, perimeter defense, and toughness. Look at the Lakers' current structure: Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis. They've got offensive talent. What they don't have: a tone setter, a vocal leader on defense, someone who holds teammates accountable on the floor. Marcus Smart is that guy. He won't take over games with his scoring, but he will dive for every loose ball, defend the best opposing guard, and yell when someone misses a rotation. He gives the Lakers an edge they've lacked. And considering both Bell and Smart come with injury concerns, the Lakers may have chosen the better long-term fit for their specific needs. So here's where things get interesting. Bell is arguably the more talented overall player. That's not up for debate. But Smart is the better fit for the Lakers. And Bell, he's the better fit for the Clippers. Both teams may have landed exactly the guy they needed. Smart would have clashed a bit with Chris Dunn on the Clippers. That backcourt could have become clunky. Staggering their minutes would have helped, but you risk losing offensive flow. On the other hand, Bell slots in cleanly next to Harden. He replicates Powell's production and gives them a dynamic shooter/creator. It just fits. So yes, the Clippers could have gone after Smart, but they would have lost out on offense. And that's the side of the ball where they needed the most help after losing Powell. In that sense, Bell was the logical target. Now, back to Paul. Bringing him in would be the final piece of a risky but potentially brilliant puzzle. The guard trio of Harden, Bell, and Paul could work in stretches. Not for 40 minutes, not every night, but in specific playoff matchups. With Kawhi and Collins healthy and rim protection backing them, It could be enough, but none of this is guaranteed. We're talking about players with long injury histories, advancing age, and huge expectations. A 2-year window, that's all the Clippers have. After 2026, this whole experiment explodes. Contracts expire. The roster resets. This is their shot, Ellen. Right now, and don't think the Lakers don't know that. By bringing in Smart, they're adding not just a piece, but the right piece. He's not here to carry the offense. He's here to support it. He's here to elevate the floor of the defense and bring structure to the chaos. His presence lets LeBron and AD conserve energy. His voice becomes the Lakers' defensive heartbeat. So while the Clippers are loading up on names and flash, the Lakers are quietly tightening their screws. And this is what makes the LA rivalry so good. Two teams, same city, completely different approaches. One is building a team around offensive firepower and star depth. The other is focusing on fit, chemistry, and identity. And now, both fan bases are watching closely, because this isn't just about who made the bigger move. It's about who made the right move. And when the dust settles, it might not be the team with the flashiest names, but the one with the cleanest fit. So who won the summer? Did the Clippers stack the deck with Bradley Beal and most likely Chris Paul to create one final super team run? Or did the Lakers quietly sneak in and get the piece they needed most with Marcus Smart? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Which LA team made the smarter play? Because this next season in LA is going to be a war.